Good morning. Getting ready for the day. Got my swimsuit on under this. I might go swimming later. Making myself a drink for the day. You know, I was thinking about something and I felt like I ought to come online here and share something that I think is important. First, though, let me get my rainbows moving. That's nice. Here, I'll turn this around so you can be looking at them while I'm talking. So, when somebody dies, there's all kinds of expressions of sympathy and people checking on you, oh, how are you doing, bringing you meals, all the usual things. People just, usually for maybe a couple, 3, maybe even 4 weeks, they're looking in on you and calling, sending cards and all this kind of stuff. And then what happens is, everybody's kind of done their bit and now you have to live life. And maybe it's 6 weeks, 2 months, 3 months later. And that is really when you need support because all of a sudden, the life you were living is gone because your person died. And the people, everybody rushing around you to support you, they're gone. Life has gone back to normal for everybody, but you've still got a changed life. Now, this is what this has to do with what I wanted to address, okay? Back in February and in March, people were, everybody was staying at home. Shelter in place, that's what it was, and then after a while people were wearing masks and there's been just, a whole flurry of activity. Around this whole COVID-19 thing. And now, with riots and things like that, there's a lot more, for us to think about, not just our mortality, but about quality of life for everybody. But here's the thing that I wanted to say to you. Now is the time that you might be feeling like, what am I supposed to do? Should I stay home? If I go out, should I wear a mask? Should I go back to work? Especially if you're older like me, I still pretty much stay at home. I go out a little bit more. If I have to buy something, I'll go out, and I try to take advantage of those hours for the more susceptible people because of my age, because I'm 68. But I realized that I have to make a new normal for me. I can't just go back to, for instance, going to learning and retirement classes at the university. They're not having them, I can't just, I'm not going to go to Hobby Lobby and just browse around and see if I need anything. Things like that, okay? That's how I'm handling this. So I need to figure out, well, what am I going to do? And sometimes I wake up in the morning and I feel kind of like, well, what now today? Maybe it'll rain. Maybe it'll be sunny. What am I going to do? Well, one of the things I'm doing is I started doing watercolor painting, of all things, and I'm really enjoying it. And I've been listening to audio books. Now, I have not been doing so well on keeping the house clean and tidy. But I need to get back to that. I need to have a little schedule that I follow. Having a little schedule really helps, okay? Having your life in order as much as you can, as much as is under your control, that's what you should control. Don't worry about the things you have no control over, but what you do have control over, it makes all the difference in the world for you, for your quality of life, for your peace of mind, if you will handle those things. So, after I get off of this, I'm going to straighten some things up around here and take my own medicine here that I'm recommending. But I just wanted to say, this is, if you feel like sort of lost, like adrift, this is a time that you need to do some of the things you were doing back in February and March, okay? Call friends, have video calls, write letters even. Oh, people love receiving letters, and hardly anyone writes letters anymore. Do some kind of little, arts and crafts thing. Even find a TV series or a book series that you'd like. But you need to fill your time. There's a tendency, this happens to people who have experienced a loss, like a death, and also in traumatic situations, which this all has been for a lot of us in the past few months. It really helps us if we will get some order in our lives and not just sit around every day and wait for something to happen. Okay? Don't wait for something to happen. I've talked about being the dominant force in your life. Make some decisions about how you're going to spend your days. I am the sort of person, this is the last thing I'll say, I'll wind it up here, but I have been prone in my life to sort of sit around and wait to feel differently before I do something. Oh, that's ridiculous. You need to get up and do something, and then you'll feel differently. Okay? So if you've been having some depression, just some down feeling, some feeling adrift now, because things are in kind of a what's going on in the world state, you be the dominant force in your life. Control what you can control, okay? Other things are going to be happening, not worth worrying over them if you have no control over them. But there's so much you do have control over. And, you got your thoughts, your body, your activities, your surroundings, your relationships, okay? You can influence all of those things. I would think that would be enough to keep anybody busy. And if you're keeping busy, you're not going to feel so down, okay? And you're not going to feel so adrift, even if it's just making little activities to accomplish. It'll give you a feeling of accomplishment. Golly, I'm easy a lot. I get that from doing a crossword puzzle. Well, anyway, I give my rainbows here another little spin. And I'm talking to you before I've even had my coffee. I'm going to go make my coffee. Make it a good day. You can do it.